Through physical activity, you can eliminate many unpleasant gastrointestinal symptoms, improve digestion, and even rejuvenate your intestines. However, it is important to know which exercises are beneficial and which, on the contrary, harm digestion. Keep watching. It is going to be interesting. Here are 9 key connections between physical activity and digestive system health. First, when we walk, bend, twist, and breathe actively, we create gentle vibrations in the abdominal cavity that stimulate mechanoreceptors located within the intestinal walls. These receptors cause the smooth muscles of the intestines to reflexively move food forward. That is exactly why physically active people rarely complain of constipation, bloating, and abdominal heaviness. Second, physical activity stimulates the production of nitric oxide in blood vessels. This substance dilates blood vessels, improves blood supply, and relaxes the muscles of the intestinal wall, reducing spasms and facilitating food movement. Third, the lymphatic system removes toxins from the intestines, prevents swelling of gastrointestinal organs, and provides local immunity. But there is a catch. The pumping of lymph through lymphatic vessels occurs through muscle contractions and active diaphragm movements. Therefore, the best way to prevent lymphatic stagnation is regular cardio exercise. Fourth, short-term stress does not harm digestion. But chronic stress lasting many years, constant anxiety and nervousness exhaust the body and simply prevent the gastrointestinal tract from digesting food properly. Motility is disrupted, mucous membrane permeability increases, immunity drops, acid-base balance is disturbed, and microflora composition changes. Regular moderate cardio exercise gently returns the body to its normal operating mode that is favorable for digestion. Fifth, light rhythmic exercise without overexertion, such as walking at a moderate pace, calm swimming, and light gymnastics, promote activation of the vagus nerve, which reduces cortisol levels. Intestinal peristalsis improves, production of gastric juice, pancreatic enzymes, and bile increases, digestive sphincter tone is regulated, and blood vessels in the gastrointestinal area dilate, enhancing blood flow to the stomach, liver, and intestines. Cell sensitivity to insulin increases, and fat breakdown in the liver is activated. Essentially, the vagus nerve puts the body into the mode most favorable for digestion.
The gastrointestinal tract contains 100 million neurons, more than in the spinal cord.
Sixth, in 2018, scientists from the University of Illinois in the United States of America proved that physically active people have richer gut microbiota, more diverse and resistant to disruptions. Seventh, scientists from the University Medical Center Utrecht, Netherlands, proved that regular physical activity is associated with approximately a 50% reduction in colorectal cancer risk compared to physically inactive people. Eighth, every time we tense our muscles, they release myokines, also called movement hormones. Myokines strengthen the immune defense of the intestines, restore the mucous membrane, prevent spasms, improve mood, reduce anxiety, and strengthen neural connections between the gut and brain, helping us better sense satiety and overeat less often. Ninth, between meals, a wave of contractions periodically rolls through the stomach and small intestine, called the migrating motor complex, or MMC. This wave works like a broom, sweeping out undigested food residue, mucus, and bacteria, preventing stagnation, putrefaction processes, and microbial overgrowth. In physically active people, the MMC works efficiently and regularly, approximately every 1.5 hours between meals. In inactive people, conversely, these self-cleansing waves are weak and occur less frequently. Good digestion makes us happier. Studies examining the connection between digestion and psycho-emotional state confirm that a comfortable gastrointestinal condition contributes to an increased subjective sense of well-being and improved mood. And here is why. About 90% of serotonin, known as the happiness hormone, is synthesized in the cells of the intestinal wall. For its stable synthesis, the gastrointestinal tract needs to remain healthy. Regular physical activity of light to moderate intensity, walking, swimming, yoga, jogging, and so on, creates ideal conditions for the synthesis of the happiness hormone. On the other hand, heavy exercise does not always help digestion and can actually be harmful, where the benefits end and the harm begins. High-intensity exercises that increase muscle tension, cause shortness of breath, and create a burning sensation in the muscles can harm digestion. Let me give you some details. First, about every other professional marathon runner complains of abdominal pain, cramps, nausea, and diarrhea. The explanation is simple. During a race, blood primarily supplies the muscles, while the GI organs receive only 20% of the blood volume they get at rest. Second, when working with weights or on exercise machines, pressure in the abdominal cavity increases, especially when holding your breath, which often causes heaviness in the stomach, bloating, belching, and heartburn. Third, cyclists spend long periods in a bent-over position. This causes compression of blood vessels, and vibration inhibits bowel emptying, which provokes heaviness, heartburn, bloating, and increases the risk of gastritis. Fourth, for swimmers, the horizontal body position, intense breathing, and compression of the abdomen by water create additional strain on the digestive tract, which can cause nausea and heaviness in the stomach. That's why you shouldn't swim immediately after eating. 1.5 to 2 hours should pass. When your workout is non-stop and it's hot outside, it's very important to rest and drink water. With overheating and dehydration, blood thickens, and the intestinal mucosa loses its protective barrier. This can lead to microdamage, or figuratively speaking, microscopic holes in the intestine through which toxins and bacteria enter the bloodstream. Usually, the immune system can handle a small amount of such damage. But if you have a weak immune system or subject yourself to hours of cardio exercise without preparation, bacterial leakage can cause systemic inflammation, intoxication, and complications. How can you use movement to your benefit? If you don't intend to exercise seriously, but just want to get all the health benefits mentioned, then choose light to moderate cardio exercises. Each activity has its own strengths. For example, walking gently stimulates peristalsis. They prevent heaviness after meals and help smooth out blood sugar spikes. To achieve these effects, walk for at least 30 minutes a day, 7 times a week. Nordic or power walking engages not only the legs, but also the muscles of the arms and shoulder girdle, improving overall blood flow and enhancing gastrointestinal function. The effect is achieved with sessions of 30 to 45 minutes, 7 times a week. Yoga, especially with an emphasis on abdominal work, gently massages the internal organs, improves peristalsis, and promotes timely bowel emptying. It's recommended to practice such exercises for 20 to 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. Pilates helps strengthen the muscle corset, abdomen, back, and pelvis. This improves posture, reduces pressure on internal organs, and prevents constipation. Moderate-intensity swimming for 30 to 45 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, provides an even workout for the entire body, including the diaphragm and core muscles, which promotes massage of the internal organs and improves blood circulation in the abdominal cavity. A leisurely bike ride is also beneficial. It helps empty the gallbladder, stimulates intestinal peristalsis, and activates metabolism. Jogging at an easy pace for 20 to 30 minutes, 3 times a week, speeds up circulation, engages the abdominal muscles, and literally shakes up the intestines, activating it without excessive strain. If you have a desk job, you can do simple digestive exercises without getting up from your workstation. Diaphragmatic breathing. On the inhale, slowly expand your belly. On the exhale, pull it in. The chest remains almost still. This type of breathing engages the diaphragm. It helps pump blood, massages the liver and intestines, relieves tension in the abdominal area, and calms the nervous system. Breathing exercise. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. Do 4 to 8 breathing cycles. This exercise benefits digestion by reducing stress hormone levels and activating recovery mode. Seated twist. Sit on a chair with your back straight and feet on the floor. Place your right hand on the outside of your left thigh. Turn your torso to the left, using your hand to assist, until you feel a gentle stretch in your back and sides, but no pain. Hold this position for 10 to 20 seconds. Repeat the exercise by placing your left hand on your right thigh and turning to the other side. This exercise gently massages and improves blood circulation in the abdominal organs, stimulates bile flow and intestinal peristalsis, and helps relieve tension in the abdomen and lower back. Forward bend. Sit on the edge of a stable chair, feet hip-width apart, knees bent at right angles, back straight. Place your palms on your thighs or let your arms hang down. On the inhale, stretch slightly upward, and on the exhale, slowly lean forward. From the hip joints, don't round your lower back. The bend should be deep enough for your belly to gently press against your thighs, but without discomfort. At the end of the bend, let your head drop down and relax your neck. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing deeply and calmly. With each inhale, gently expand your belly. On the exhale, try to relax completely, then slowly rise back up. Repeat 2 to 3 times. Pressure on the abdomen is created through gentle contact of the abdominal wall with the thighs. This stimulates intestinal peristalsis and bile flow. The forward bend improves venous and lymphatic drainage from the pelvic organs. Deep breathing promotes activation of the parasympathetic nervous system. In 2025, Korean scientists compared 2 groups of elderly mice. The first group was not physically active, while the second was trained on a treadmill 5 days a week for 8 weeks. Subsequently, the scientists found that physically active mice showed enhanced activity of genes responsible for mucosal repair and intestinal barrier protection. In contrast, sedentary mice showed pronounced signs of intestinal cell aging and decreased barrier function. Scientists are confident that physical activity in humans similarly engages epigenetic mechanisms for intestinal repair and strengthening. By the way, this doesn't just apply to the intestines. According to the WHO, regular physical activity reduces a person's biological age. By moving every day, you maintain the youthfulness of your entire body, from your skin to the cells of your internal organs.
This content is for informational and educational purposes only. Consult with a doctor or healthcare professional before following any recommendations provided in this video. Tell us about your experience in the comments and subscribe to our channel.